What's up YouTube, Never Lucky Pulse here today with my Locust review. I played with SwordSoul. My match 1 was against Heroes, so against my buddy. Was very interesting this game. I won the dice roll and opened up with immersions into Moi into Grandmaster. And with Grandmaster I got myself the Blackout plus 1 draw from Moi. I had a follow up with Long Yuan into Baron de Fleur and set the back row, the Blackout and pass turn. He normal summoned Stratos and activated the effect. I wanted to negate with Grandmaster, but he changed Super Poly and I lost Baron de Fleur plus used my Grandmaster effect, means I have no interruption left besides the Blackout. So he summoned Great Tornado. Great Tornado reduces the attack points of Grandmaster and defense by 50%, so half of the attack points. He special summoned Ferris. I had to activate the Blackout to destroy both of his monsters. So he was forced to activate the mask change on his Ferris to summon Dark Lore. And with increase he had no real target. I mean, you don't want to tribute your Dark Lore, therefore I stopped the Bion play. So that was my idea, but he had the Bane also as a follow-up. So he had a lot of attack points. I was afraid it was not enough, but who guessed, he had also the Honest Neos. I was like, dude, this is the godliest hand ever I saw with Heroes. He could OTK me despite my interruptions. Game 2 was quick and dirty. I opened up Godly. My Pot of Desires gave me +1 and my starting hand had the Anti-Spell Fragrance, which is an auto win against the Heroes because they only have spells, and with the Anti-Spell I insta-win. Plus I had the normal summons for the Grandmaster and the Long Yuan follow-up for the level 10 synchro. Means it's a win for sure, and I flipped the anti-spell. It was GG right there. Game 3 was very intense. He went first. I had no punish card like evenly matched or Nibiru in my hand. Only Ash, and Ash was negated by Code by the Grave, so his Vion resolved. He had full combo. He searched himself the fusion card, activated the fusion, went into Sunriser, and Sunriser chaining 2 and the Liquid Solar chaining 1. So he gets the Miracle Fusion plus draw 2, discard 1. Discarded Super Poly. At this moment I should think about a second Super Poly, but I didn't realize that he also summoned Phoenix Destroyer with Fusion Destiny and had 2 back rows. My starting hand wasn't that great. I opened up with my Tennis and Vishuda, and with Vishuda I tried to bounce Phoenix Destroyer or force Phoenix Destroyer, so my Moi normal summon would resolve or tire, but it was negated by Imperm. So I had the Long Yuan follow up for the level 8 synchro for the Grandmaster, and with Grandmaster I banished the trap, and if the trap gets banished you get 1 token to the field, so I could fuse for my level 10 synchro. I went for the water guy since he can banish Phoenix Destroyer from the graveyard, but he had Super Poly and went into the Absolute Zero. Maybe I should have went for the fire guy, for the Sinister Long Yuan. I don't know. My idea was to banish the Phoenix Destroyer so I get rid of him. But yeah, in the end it was a mistake, I guess. I should have went for the Sinister Long Yuan. He's fire, so it's not a Super Poly target. But yeah, with that move I completely lost the game. And he had Bane also, like in the first game, to punish me, and yeah, his Dimensional Barrier stopped my second summon, so I couldn't go into the synchros. And yeah, from this point I knew the game was over, since he had the Destiny Heroes in graveyard from the Fusion Destiny, so he could go for for whatever he wanted. I mean, he can go Plasma, he can go into his what he don't need even Plasma. So as you know, he can go into the how is it called, Wonder Driver, and in the Wonder Driver you summon the Bane and you get the Miracle Fusion back, and with that you can activate it to summon the Shining. Match 2 was against Despia, my favorite matchup, very intense. I won the dice roll and opened up with Moi normal summon and got myself the Grandmaster, no Imperm luckily for me. I searched myself the Blackout since I had immersions in hand for the Long Yuan follow-up, but it was met by Ash, very unexpected, so I had to set 2 in pass turn. He opened with opening and special summoned Aluba. I did not negate him since I had Ash in my hand, so I was waiting for him to activate the Branded Fusion to Ash it. So it's the best Ash target. He activated also Patchwork to add 2, the Fusion and the monster to the hand. I also didn't Ash that, so waiting for the Branded Fusion. He first played the Fusion card to summon his Despia monster. The effect is he makes all the attack points to 0, but I negated it with Grandmaster. His Branded Fusion was met by my Ash, and he had nothing left to play. He had to fusion another last monster. It was the Predator Plant Negate monster, but it's weaker than Grandmaster with 2700 attack points. He can only negate Grandmaster, but that's it, so he has no real progress on his board. And from this point the game was lost. I activated the Vessel on Grandmaster, tributed him, and went into the tennies. And with the tennies I could go into the next Grandmaster, since he was not negated, but I could go into another one since he had no spell counters on it, the Predator Plant counters which negate your monster. And yeah, from this point, like I said, it was over. I could negate his Predator Plant monster, and with that he had really nothing left to play. I normal summoned Moyi, went into another level 8 synchro, and yeah, that's all what happened in this game. So lucky start for me, I had all the interruptions, and yeah. Game 2 he went first. He opened the branded opening, special summoned Aluba to the field, but I had the Imperm to negate the Aluba search for the branded fusion. And he had no branded fusion in his starting hand, therefore his end board was very weak. That's the weakness of Despia. Sometimes you open up with your normal or special Aluba, and if he gets negated you basically lose the game, since you have no real follow-up and no resources in your graveyard. And yeah, you can see he ended up on this text dragon and this special summoned effect monster, but they are both very weak against my deck. So I activated Evenly Meshed. He had to banish 2 cards, he banished his monsters, and only letting his Imperm in his back row line. I went for the tennies first and special summoned the Grandmaster. Grandmaster was negated by his Imperm, so no search for me, but I had to normal summon Taya, went into the next level 8, and from there on the game was lost for him. So he had lost a lot of resources, plus I had a full combo board. I tributed my monk for the Moyi. Moyi got me a token plus another interruption with the Berserker, and yeah, from this point, you can see it yourself, it's broken. He can't come back, even with Dark Ruler no more. I mean, if he has Dark Ruler no more, what is his follow-up? He needs like normal summon Aluba again, and yeah, that's not gonna happen. Match 3 was against Dragonmaids. I don't have experience against this deck, it's my second time, I guess. So I won the dice roll, opened up with Emergence, but Emergence was met by Ash. So I had no real follow-up, only the Long Yuan as a special summon, plus the Dragon Circle, tributed the Long Yuan to search me the level 4, but he activated Joel and was like, no man, my strategy is now destroyed. I can't do anything with the Grandmaster, no search, no nothing. I had to pass turn, and in his turn he could not OTK me, but he could special summon a monster with 3500 attack points and a negate. So that was more than enough against me, since I lost a lot of resources, plus I couldn't establish a board with negates. So yeah, it was unfortunate for me. Double hand trap against SwordSoul is sometimes enough, as you can see. The Ash on the Emergence plus the Droll on my Grandmaster, aka I can't play. I mean, one negate is not enough in the current meta game. Game 2 was a bit wild. My starting hand wasn't that great. As you can see, I special Veshuda and normal summoned Ash to go into Baron de Fleur. Yeah, sucks, I know, but I had to do it. I set free and pass turn. I had one Judgment, one Deep Barrier, and one Chalice. So he activated the search card. His special summon was negated by my Chalice, and his fusion was negated by my Deep Barrier. So he had to pass turn. I went for 3k and yeah, pass turn again, since I couldn't summon anything. In his following turn he could play his next fusion card, but I had a second dimensional barrier. I drew it from my last turn, so he couldn't do anything. I tagged out the Baron de Fleur for the shooter and went for my monks to activate Vessel, but Vessel was made by Ash, so I couldn't go full combo. So I summoned another monk and went into the shooter to attack for a lot of life points. He had like 1500 life points left, and I had one Judgment set, so in case he normal summons something I can negate it and win there. Game 3 he went first, not allowing me to establish multiple negates. Obviously he opened up with Small World. Sorry you can't see the card, but it was Small World. He banished Waylay and Ash, normal summoned a monster and went into the Striker Dragon. And with Striker Dragon he went into the Heretic Seal. Heretic Seal can bounce one monster on the field. and he tributes himself as a cost, so you can't Whaler him or Imperm or Grandmaster negate him, so it's not possible. And he had also Drone Lockpad like in the game 1, so the chances are very low now for me winning this game. Plus he had the deep barrier, I mean like dude, what the heck. Luckily I had red rebuild, but it's useless because my Grandmaster will get bounced, since I can't negate with my Grandmaster because he tributes himself for cost, the Heretic Seal. And yeah, that was pretty much game there, I couldn't do that much. I mean, I went to the Grandmaster, but he will get bounced, and yeah, that's it. Plus he got a free trap from my red rebuild, and I lost half of my life points, means I'm quite dead. But yeah, that is what it is, you can't win them all, right? And by the way, as you can see, I have a new camera setup filming from above now. I can't do it in every locals, since in the Munich locals the tables are too big for my new camera setup. I can do it only in the Freising locals from my hometown. So I will deliver more in the future. Maybe I will buy a third one for even bigger tables, so I can make the above recording in Munich as well. But comment down below what your opinion is for the new setup. I think it's quite nice. You can see the graveyards now, all the field cards, etc. So it's a much better angle in my opinion. And yeah, I hope you think that as well. To recap the locals, once again very fun duels, very intense battles. I ate a lot of hand traps, my opponents had the outs with the super police, etc. It was very intense and very cool. So yeah, despite the 6th place, it was a very fun local for me, to be honest. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Drop a like and subscribe, and see you in the next video. Bye!
Mail your submission to the Kaiba Corporation. Winners will be handpicked by me. Then your cards will be launched into space on a Kaiba Corp satellite. Cause I figure, if there is intelligent life out there, then let's teach them how to duel.